Ilkay Gundogan, I'm Adam from Malaysia. It's great to speak to you. Season, of course, is about to start. How has pre-season been for you, though?
As every year, hard to be honest, but good. I guess I'm used to it right now. That preseason is always quite short, because after the last season, always going into international break as well. For a couple of weeks, and then getting a bit downtime with the holiday, and then as soon as you come back, you have maybe a couple of weeks, maximum 3 weeks of preseason to get ready for the new season. So preseason is over again. We're starting with the Community Shield and then the first Premier League game. So actually really looking forward and excited for the new season.
Can I ask, have you enjoyed a little bit of the time off we've had this summer? Because we had Project Restart 2 years ago, then we had the Euros last summer. I'm sure you would have valued spending time with family, and with the World Cup around the corner as well, it's probably a really important break for you.
Yes, I think it's very important to make the best out of your holiday, because this is the only time of the year that you get some time off. And having, I think, 4 weeks at the end of the day was really nice. I tried to spend as much as time with family and friends, because especially with the pandemic going on, I was not able to see a lot of people for a very long time. And I was just grateful, to have that time to enjoy, to relax, to eat good, and at the end of the day, most importantly, spend some time with your loved ones. That's I think the main thing.
I think that's a sentiment that's shared not just by you, but by people across the entire globe, as families and friends are reunited. But looking back at last season, I was at the Etihad, Manchester City hosting Aston Villa. They take the lead. I mean, that was an absolutely crazy final day, and City had experience for this, of course. But for you, was this the most haphazard way to finish the season you've ever encountered, and probably the best way?
Yeah, best way, probably yes, best way. I can't think of anything else, to be honest. I mean, if someone would have asked me before the game, I would have probably said, okay, I would take a 2-0, 3-0, easy win, and then clearly champions. Afterwards, the way it happened, obviously, was way more exciting, was way more, memorable. So obviously, the way it happened at the end of the day was kind of unique, but also you needed a lot of nerves that day. So it was not an easy day at all. Afterwards, when you're relieved, obviously you're full of adrenaline, and full of joy. But building up to that, it takes you a lot of nerves.
Given the astounding career you've had so far, at club level, was that your best moment? I mean, look at your role in the comeback victory and ultimately being crowned champions at the end of 90 minutes.
Maybe yes, to be honest. Like, being part of a squad that decided, the Premier League or winning the Premier League title in the last minutes of the last day. Yeah, probably yes, just because of the fact that this doesn't happen really often, So as a football player, this is going to be something that I will always remember, definitely. That other people probably will remember also for a long time. But of course, I don't want to reduce my career or myself just to that moment. I think there's much more. But yeah, this is of course one that I will love to think about it.
Can I ask about Erling Haaland? I think the entire world is excited to see how he's going to settle into the Premier League. How has he looked for you? I mean, you've just finished training, I know that. How was he today, for example?
Yeah, he's looking very sharp. He's scoring goals, in the games that we are playing in training. He scored in his first game for us. So what you can see is that he definitely has the hunger, the desire, to score goals. He is enjoying that a lot, and I think that is also one of his main qualities, to get himself into these positions, where he's able to score. and then having the right mentality, you know, to score goals. I think with his physique also that he brings into the team now, it gives us more flexibility. You know, we have finally someone who can go into aerial duels, you know, with the likes of Van Dijk. So I think it adds a lot of value to our team, and also off the pitch, he seems like a really good guy. So obviously, we are very grateful that he's here.
Now, he already has connections to England. Of course, he's born there. His father played in England, played for Manchester City. But you played in Germany and came to play in the Premier League, which is what now he's done as well. Did you speak to him about the differences between Bundesliga football and Premier League football in England and Germany in general?
Not yet, no. We didn't speak about football. We spoke about just like some personal stuff, you know. He's sitting in the dressing room next to me as well. But we haven't spoken about football so far, like not the one that we compare in German, the German football to English football. But I think, or I believe also that someone with his qualities doesn't really need an advice from myself, because the mentality that he has, I mean, speaks for himself. So I think with that kind of right mentality, he's not gonna struggle a lot, you know, to adapt into English football. I really don't believe that.
Can I also ask about the players that have departed the club now? Because it looks like they've made your competition stronger. Sterling's gone to Chelsea. Arsenal have Jesus and Zinchenko. These three players, they're all winners. They're all Premier League winners and former teammates of yours. I mean, do you think this makes the season even more competitive because you know the qualities that will be bringing to their new clubs in London?
Yeah, of course. I mean, all of these three guys are players that I value a lot, actually. Not just as football players, also as human beings. I think they have some outstanding characteristics, you know, and they are great guys. So I really do believe that they will add a lot of value to their teams. They will bring something that this kind of teams might need. You know, they all won the Premier League several times. So they have experience on how to do it, you know, the way to do it. And I think they can pass this experience also, or they can at least, you know, they can lead the line, if you can say so. So I believe that the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, even Tottenham, Liverpool, they're going to be stronger than last year. United. So the competition is just gonna be bigger. I really do believe that.
But do you feel that your squad is stronger this year? Because I know we talked about Haaland, but it's not just about him. I mean, Alvarez has looked phenomenal from what I've seen of him. Calvin Phillips, we recognise his qualities in the Premier League and for the England national team. So there's an argument that you're now stronger now than you were last year, even though you've lost key players.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that happened always in recent years. We always lost really good players, but the club always did a great job in recruiting new ones, you know, and getting the right players into the right positions, and adding always a different kind of quality, you know, to the squad. And I think that's something that's remarkable. There goes a lot of credit to the people, you know, who are involved in the recruitment. And yeah, I think we can be as strong as never before, but obviously we need to do something for it, you know, and it's not something that just comes automatically. It's all the effort that we need to put in it, and then again, it can be an outstanding season for us.
Sometimes we see players join Manchester City and they take a little while to adapt. I mean, Bernardo Silva, he's now becoming one of the best in the world. Riyad Mahrez is another one. Just a little, maybe a season to fully come to grasp to play for Manchester City. So Jack Grealish, I need to ask about him because he looks pretty sharp in pre-season, linking up with Haaland. Do you expect him to really kick on this year?
Yeah, I expect him to do better than last season, even though we had also really good games last season. But I think with getting used to our squad, to our players, to the manager, you know, to everyone around the club, I think it sometimes just takes time, you know, and especially, you know, maybe having that pressure, you know, of being the new one, the new guy, with that price tag also on yourself. I don't know, sometimes you just need to be a bit patient, not just himself, also the people around, you know. So I already saw a development in the end of last season, to be honest, and I can see that also now in the beginning of pre-season, and hopefully we can help him, you know, to get out his best for the upcoming season, and then he will be a great player for us.
We talk about all these players, but there's only 11 spots on the pitch, 10 for an outfield player, and you have a matchday squad as well. So how do you deal with competition for places in the starting 11, particularly in the big games, you know, the big 6 matches, Champions League knockout games? And if you're not picked, do you personally feel rejected or dejected by it?
No, not rejected. I think someone who's already in professional football like me, I don't think that's the right word. It's just, it's still, you know, disappointment, of course, when you are not in the lineup for these kind of games, maybe. But you know that your squad is always big. You know, you have a lot of players who are also able to play on the highest level. So it's something you also need to get used to, maybe a little bit. That you might play 2 games and then you sit out a game. Just because of the rotation also that our manager likes, you know, to give also rest to the players. And then when it comes to the big games, I don't know, but I believe that everyone has a job, you know, and if your job for that day is not to play, your job is to give the best possible support to your teammates who are playing. And if you get on the pitch, you get subbed on, you try to do your best. So that's how I see it, even though of course there's frustration, there's anger, there's disappointment. It would be sad if not.
I only have 2 or 3 minutes left, so final few questions here. Are you allowed to share what personal targets you as an individual player have for the season? Do you have a set target of goals you want to hit, or assists, or minutes played, anything like that?
No, I don't really have targets in terms of numbers, to be honest. My target is first of all to get in the best possible shape, best possible form, and then of course also to stay healthy. And then when I'm on the pitch, to play as good as possible, to adapt into the team as good as possible, to do my job, my role, interpret my role the best way I can. And that's really it. At the end of the day, we are not playing for ourselves. We are playing for the team. We are playing for the football club, for the fans, and to win. And if I win personally by, I don't know, achieving my target of 10 goals, 15 goals or whatever, but we don't win as a team, or we don't win the Premier League or whatever, it's not really worth anything to me. So that's why I don't really set targets in terms of numbers.
This is my final question. I need to ask about the manager. Do you feel he's revolutionized football in a way very few managers can? And we've seen so few times in the past. I mean, even Spain and Germany look like they've adopted part of his philosophy during the years they won the World Cup. When he was at Barcelona, when he was at Bayern Munich, England reaching the finals of the Euros, well, managing in England, and the semi-finals of the World Cup, and how he himself has dominated English football at the same time. How big of an influence do you think Pep Guardiola is, not just in your side, but in football, full stop?
I think huge. I mean, in terms of qualities, I have never seen anyone better than him, and I probably won't see anyone better than him. I just feel privileged, you know, to be able to work with him right now for the 6th year, to learn from him, still learn from him, to be valued by him as well, you know, be appreciated by him, because I really do believe that he was and is one of the most innovative managers football has ever seen, probably. So yeah, I think he's just incredible what he has achieved and what he is still able to achieve. And it's just an honor for me to work with him.
Yeah, amazingly, I think he's actually younger than some of the managers out there, like the new manager of Manchester United. When you think about what else he could be doing in the future.